Please come in. I'm Professor Adrian Liston. I'm one of the fellows at St. Catherine's in the Natural Sciences.
And I kick it.
So this is where I do most of my small group teaching. This is a room where the students will come in who are studying biology of disease, and we go over their week's lectures, try and make sure that they understand the concepts. We can try to put stuff up on the whiteboard, try to discuss the concepts that they're learning and make sure that they're solidified so that they keep on track of the material as they go. This is my office. It used to be a bedroom, hence having a sink. And actually when I first got here, there was a bed that was still here. This is where I do the other part of my work, which at St. Catz is largely pastoral work. So I'm a welfare fellow for PhD students, and I'm also a qualities fellow. I'm often working with students, trying to help them work through their problems and to make sure that they feel supported and they have a good time while they're at St. Catherine's. A few things I want to point out to you in my office. One of them is this enormous cell over here. This is a little bacterial cell. This is a feature that we made for the Sensory Science exhibit, which is a science art program that we made here at St. Catherine's. And the idea was to try to create art that is educational about the science going on and is also available in multiple different sensories. So this was generated to be able to be accessible to a blind and low vision community, for example. And this is the cell. This is a nice cytoskeleton. And the idea here is to be able to show how we can transport these bacteria that are infecting the cell into the cell center, where these bacteria are then able to proliferate and infect the cell. And we're really just trying to educate about those general principles. Over here on my bookcase, I can show another prop that we generated. This is a cast of a brain where we're trying to show the principles of multiple sclerosis. So multiple sclerosis is one of the diseases that I research on in my lab, and it's an autoimmune disease where the immune cells from our blood are going into our brain and starting to cause damage. They are causing these little lesions, these little white spots that you can see deep inside of the brain here, and inside those lesions they're getting rid of the myelin. That's the electrical cables basically that are used by nerves to communicate with each other. And then this book, Becoming a Scientist, is a graphic novel that I wrote about the people in my lab. I've got such an amazing group of scientists in my lab, and they've all got a unique story. And what I wanted to do is to show those stories to different people around the world and show that there are multiple different motivations to become a scientist. Some people are becoming a scientist because of curiosity about how the universe works. Other people will be driven to become a scientist because of the sickness of a family member and they want to be part of the journey to finding a new cure. So we go through the motivations of everyone. We go through the barriers that they had to overcome and also the role models that helped them overcome that. And I think it really is important that anyone can become a scientist if you've got that motivation and that curiosity.